Hi guys, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. My name is Artieka.
I'm Tommy.
And today we are reviewing Married at First Sight, season 13.
Yeah.
The reunion part 2. It's over, y'all.
Yeah.
We sat down and we watched the reunion part 2 as well as the Where Are They Now special. I don't think we're going to get into the
No,
Where Are They
we're
Now
definitely not going to get into that because
things are ever changing, apparently.
Yeah.
So we open back up with Zach and Michaela. He gets up and leaves when she walks in.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she leaves, he comes back.
Yeah. He was just fed up with her and the lies. But how do we know who's lying and who's not?
There's so many inconsistencies to Zach's story. Like, I don't know if I actually wrote a note about it specifically. Oh, I did. So Zach said Michaela stayed at his house, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then he made it seem like she was lying about staying at his house. And then he was like, it wasn't 8 days. It was only 4. And we did have sex. So what she's saying is not so far-fetched. Yeah. It's the number of days that you have the issue with. But you're making it seem like she's just like this outlandishly crazy lying person. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that you can dispute is the number of days.
Yeah.
This is like Johnny 2.0.
Or Zach 1.0.
You don't meal prep. But we watched her do it. Okay, that happened one time.
That's too
but
funny.
You did it though.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, the big issue here is that you're trying to make her out to be this crazy person and she needs zero assistance in being a crazy person. Right. Just own up to your part of it.
Yeah.
So he said she stayed for 4 days and it's because he was trying not to abandon her. We didn't really get into why it would have been abandoning her when she was at his house. And he said they had sex over those 4 days. And then he said he isn't dating and this whole situation has made him not want to get married, but he still wants to have kids. It's like, so you want a crazy baby mama, but not a crazy ex-wife.
I still believe Zach is just he has this picture of things and he's a people pleaser and wants everything to be the way that he saw it. He wrote it down in his journal. And
when it doesn't work that way, he has to cry about it.
Yeah. And it's like reality hits, man. We all have the way what is it? Reality versus what we think.
Mm-hmm. Perception versus reality.
Yeah. And so that's what it was. His perception of things were completely different from the way that reality set it in or how it actually happened. Mm-hmm. And so he gets caught in those moments where he has to dispute the little things. Mm-hmm. That's not how it goes. That's not how it went. That's not the intention. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And the intention is not understood between both of them. So, there we have it there.
I'm just really thinking through this, like, how does that conversation go with sane people? So it's like, I stayed at your house for 8 days. You like, nah, it's more like 4. It would have been a very calm.
Yeah. We like sane people would have just been able to sit out there and have a cordial, because like the way I look at Brett and Ryan, mm-hmm. they were able to understand quoting right now, mm-hmm. they understood the assignment. Okay. They basically understood that, hey, this is not going to work for us. There's no sense of us being any type of upset or mad or, acting any type of way, mm-hmm. because we can't make things work that doesn't, we can't fit a square into a circle or vice versa. So with that being the case, it's like you approach it as adults. Mm-hmm. They approach this whole situation with the immature mindset of it. Mm-hmm. Or I ain't gonna say immature, I'm going to say with rose-colored glasses, So that's all I had. I wrote 3 things about Zach in this part and was like, all right.
We went back to Bao and Johnny, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Bao basically said that they were too different. And then we see a never before seen clip of them as patient and nurse. They discussed Bao not wanting to talk about sex and then him thinking she's fake because she wanted to know what she was talking about prior to being filmed talking about it. I think of all the things to focus on, the fact that you're not about to blindside me with information is the only thing that he could pick to say negatively about her.
Well, I think when I was sitting there listening to them have the conversation, he was looking at it more so of being planned conversations to have on camera versus just naturally letting it flow. I can understand both parts. Because it's one of the hardest things for us to do is to plan out something we're about to talk about for like the podcast or something like that. Mm-hmm. This comes easy because we like basically take notes of what's going on the TV. But when it's with the podcast, it's a little bit harder just because we have to pull it out of thin air. Mm-hmm. We're able to do it. You know, and we're able to recall stories that we had and experiences that we had. But that's the me understanding where Bao is coming from, because she does want to put on a good face. She doesn't want to be out here Jerry Springer on TV.
Who wants to be on television looking stupid?
Nobody.
And I don't understand why he can't understand that.
And the part that I understood about Johnny is it's reality TV for all intents and purposes. And he's like, let's experience this in a manner of what happens. Mm-hmm. Don't be one way on camera and then some way off camera. Be yourself thoroughly, with or without a camera. And that's the way I took it.
But it's kind of like her saying, and I completely agree with that, like, y'all just not gonna put me on a Johnny train. But it's kind of like her saying, when I go out with my friends who are in politics, I am different than I am if I'm with my friends and we're like going out for drinks. I can be both of those people like internally, but I turn on certain parts of myself depending on where I am. Yeah. And it's as simple as saying, act like you got some sense.
That's it.
That's literally what it is.
That's literally what she was trying to portray. Was that she has some sense in the whole aspect of what they're doing.
Right. And I can't fault her for that, because when you look at it as a big picture thing, the same things happen every season on Married at First Sight, right? Mm-hmm. We have the letters to your younger self. We have the take me to your childhood home, which is always the same episode. You have the actual wedding. You have the honeymoon. You have the 1 month anniversary. Yeah. You have like these date nights that are planned. Like you have all of these small things that are going to happen. So we have a pre-planned event, but your biggest issue is that I'm like, all right, so what are we talking about today?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, what are we doing today? It's just,
you're on a real high horse, and it's like,
yeah, calm down, sir. It's just, man, I just feel like Bao did one thing and Johnny looked for a way to get out of it, and he just picked at this one thing. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is a sore spot for me, or this is a sore spot for me. And it's one of those things where he's like, we're not a match because I don't want to do that right now. Mm-hmm. You know, that's not important to me. But for her, it was her, how she's perceived is important to her versus how, what's that? How she's perceived versus, you know, how, you know, reality is. So, I mean, Johnny has a point, but if it's right or wrong, I don't think it's right to hold that against a person because they want to like not be blindsided by things. You know, it's kind of like, you know, she's a planner, because of the way she did. She had spreadsheets for
packing her
luggage. So it's like, why wouldn't she plan how she wants to be perceived on camera?
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't she go through a to-do list on, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When we're recording, like, it makes sense. Like, nothing she does is surprising. And so because it's not surprising, you either A, fall in line with it, or B, you don't. And
a lot of the fall in line doesn't really have to do with you.
Right.
So he irritates me.
Yeah.
Kevin did ask him a very good question. If Bao is so bad, why did you want to stay married? And it was basically he wanted to stay married so he didn't look stupid on TV.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what it is. So now he sees.
Yeah, he looks stupid on TV.
Yeah, like he didn't say those words, but we know that that's exactly why. He's like, Bao said that saying no on decision day was saying no to everything. And she said it and she meant it with her whole chest.
Mm-hmm.
And you got caught out here looking stupid saying, I want to stay together because you didn't want to look stupid. Like I'm making her look bad or something like that.
Yeah.
Johnny says that he's decided to start therapy. And then they talk about the cast swapping spouses, saying that Gil would have been better with Brett, Johnny better with Mirla, and Bao would have been better with Zach or Ryan.
Yeah.
Apparently that Bao and Zach situation didn't end well.
Apparently. They both are back dating, is what they said.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool.
Ladies of season 13 all got together. They mentioned that they looked like Christmas because everyone was dressed in red and green. They did do a few shots of Michaela on the dance floor at the bachelorette party and at the couples retreat. Apparently, Michaela liked to dance.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nothing at all. It was just like...
I like to boogie myself.
It was just like, I wish we could have known in the context of what song she was dancing to. Because the music that they played...
didn't match. They tried.
I was like, that's not what Michaela's dancing to.
Yeah, Michaela's not dancing to that at all.
Michaela was more of a band to make her dance type girl. Let's see. Brett hasn't had sex in 2 years and she still didn't consummate her marriage.
Yeah.
I understand why Brett didn't consummate that marriage. I don't know why we have to talk about it.
They would have just been doing it just to be doing it.
And it would have been very vanilla.
Yeah.
As Bao calls it.
Kayla says she don't like Ryan.
I don't remember in what context she said she doesn't like Ryan. I know that's
it was I don't remember.
Period at the end of this.
I don't remember what it was either, but it came after when I wrote she didn't consummate the marriage. So I'm assuming it was something in that thing.
Yeah,
right
that was
there.
my very next thing. Was she said she didn't like Ryan and he was too invested in her marriage and not his own.
Yeah.
And Brett was like, you got a point. Rachel did share with all the ladies that she and Jose are working towards being together. And then they did a whole package on Mirla being Mirla.
Yeah.
Mirla has been one of those people that did full circle villainization.
Yeah.
Like villain, not the villain. Really bad version of a villain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't think that there's anything that she can do to fix the public's perception of her.
Yeah. No, it's only thing that she can do is continue to live her life because she's gonna be that villain until Gil is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's more so of we hurt for Gil than understanding where Mirla came from because Mirla lied to everybody.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to come to understand where someone is coming from when they get on I can't say on TV, but it is on TV because they got in front of these people and they cried every time she talked about him, about how wonderful he was, and she couldn't have prayed for a better husband. And he does all of the little things and all of the big things, and then you're like, this isn't gonna work. 2 weeks later.
Yeah, it's that's the weird thing about it. It's like, I understand making a bad decision, right? And having to go back on that decision.
Mm-hmm.
But usually those decisions are because of something for me. Like, I'm the only involved person in those. Oh, that was a terrible decision. Let me back up.
Mm-hmm.
If I know I have to make a decision for both of us, I'm going to be 100% with myself and with you.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's a thing called time that I can't get back.
Right.
And I would rather waste my time than waste our time.
Mm-hmm.
And what she did was wasted his time.
Yes.
Now, I do believe it helped him on a note of not villainization, but wanting to hear more from him and wanting more attention, towards him, because more people are going to, it's not going to be what did Gil do? It's going to be what did Mirla do? Mm-hmm. Gil is just a recipient of somebody using him, basically. Mm-hmm. So,
like, Gil comes off as the golden child.
That's it.
Because he literally didn't do
anything wrong.
Yeah. According to her, even. Like, he was a great husband, but nope, not me. Not me. So next we sit down with the experts. Dr. Pepper says she was surprised by Mirla and Gil and Bao and Johnny. They all think that Michaela was ready for marriage, but this process got to her. I could definitely see the process being an issue, but I think Michaela also had some overarching issues that were more than just the process.
They also said Zach needed to be better help for her.
He did. Zach's gut reaction to anything that happened with Michaela was leave.
Yeah.
I don't have to take this. I'm going home. And he rolled that hard.
Yeah. The true definition of Steve Urkel's.
Right. The only time not even then. He even argued okay, so we're not going to sleep in the same bed. I'm going home. You know
something? I just thought about this, man. They talked about when they argued at the beginning, like when they first moved into the apartment together, they talked about how they argued. Mm-hmm. I found that to be weird when, they first got in. It was like, we're not going to just walk away. But throughout the whole season, we saw that their conclusion to their arguments were to leave.
And then Michaela also said she wasn't going to yell and scream.
And that was the first thing she did.
Yes. Still, I will have Michaela's back on a lot of these things Zach did not see because he wasn't there for most of her blow ups.
Yeah.
But
because he left.
Right. But she did yell and scream when she had the opportunity to do it to him.
Yeah.
So they both were, not telling the truth on that part.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where did we go from there? Pastor Cal thinks Mirla is afraid of this working out, so she's sabotaging it. That definitely feels very real. That I go through this thing and I talk about how great this guy is, and then all of a sudden, nope, not for me. Yeah. Like, who texted you?
Right.
Who called you and said, I want to work this thing out? Because something happened.
Yeah. That
wasn't just Gil was in my space. We got a bigger house and I need to leave now. Dr. Pepper says she was very offended by Mirla coming in drunk.
Yeah.
She was very drunk.
Yeah, like I can understand one. Like just having like one drink and, you know, calling it like, let me go meet this person. Or, you know, but Miller was
like, they had 25-cent martinis and
I gave them $10.
I had $3 or $4 worth.
So yeah.
Next up was Jose and Rachel.
Yeah.
Is that what you have?
Yeah.
Okay. Jose and Rachel. So they discuss Jose needing to release or having to release his anxiety. I don't know why that didn't come out.
I don't know.
They discuss Jose having to release his anxiety. The experts talk to them about where their relationship is now. They talk about Jose being mean to her. Dr. Pepper says Jose has some anger that needs to be professionally addressed. And apparently she ain't the one or the two to address it. Go get you some help. Not with me, but go get you some help. Rachel says she would move back in, but they have to work towards moving back in together. And the experts agree that they can fix their marriage and stay together. I don't really feel like Rachel and Jose need to stay together, but that's a me thing, not a...
That's a us thing. Because I have the same sentiment when it comes to that.
Because it doesn't have to be this difficult.
Nah. And when you realize that, it's like so eye-opening. Like it doesn't really have to be this difficult. He said when they first sat down, he was like, marriage is not for punks. I was like, you're right and you're wrong on that. You know, marriage is not for the fickle. You know, you definitely have to have like some backbone to you when you get married, but it is though. Like marriage is it. You know, marriage is for some people. Yeah, for some people. But, you know, for me, marriage is pretty cool. You know. Yeah, I don't know, man. I didn't like when he went, like I liked him at first because of how they were vibing. But then like when that argument came up, I just never forgave him for that. You know, I don't see any reason that you would put your wife, friend, girlfriend, child, woman,
anybody that you know,
right, in a predicament like that, because the one thing that I think about all the time is anything could have happened. And when it comes to women, men are more protective for women because, prime example, in the 100-meter dash, people are I don't want to say women aren't as strong as men, but in the 100-meter dash, the men run 9.8. Women, the record for the women, or the record for men, is 9.69 or 9.68, maybe 5.8, one of the two. Usain Bolt ran, he's fast. But the record for women in the 100-meter dash is 10.5. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. You know?
I don't know how we got to track analogies.
I just use track because it's easier for me than saying women are the, I don't want to say weaker human being.
Yes, they're not.
Because no, it's like, man, pregnancy stuff, whew. Like, I couldn't do it. So, but it's like, why would you put a woman in a predicament that didn't have a phone, didn't have keys, didn't have a place to go?
And my thought process behind that whole thing is I agree with, like, why would you do that? But taking it a step further, if you said that you didn't know you locked her out, why did you then act like it didn't even matter to you the next day that she was locked out?
Right. The first thing I'd have been like, oh, where is she at? No matter how mad I could be of a person, no matter how, you know, disappointed this person made me or anything like that, where is she at and is she safe? And the fact that he didn't think of that And even if it was vice versa, even if she did that to him, I would not forgive her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it will be hard because it's like, you literally put me out with no way of getting back in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah. That's my tangent for the episode.
So the experts meet with Mirla and Gil, and they open with clips of Mirla talking about how great Gil is. Gil cries and says he was blindsided. Mirla nodded in agreement, and she says she was honest and says it wasn't a day that turned her off. She just realized it, and she told him immediately. They told Mirla, don't let her happiness make her not happy in a relationship. I get what Pastor Cal was trying to say. He was like, you don't marry for happiness, you marry for everything else, because nobody is 100% happy every day.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't, and I think it was Will Smith that said this about Jada, like, I cannot be in charge of your happiness.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be in charge of your own happiness.
Right.
So if you're not happy, that's not on me. I did everything that I could do to assist in this happiness, but you have to have happiness internally.
Yeah.
Go figure out your happiness.
Right.
And go ahead.
I was going to say, Mirla said she couldn't feel safe with him for their financial decisions. It's a thing of balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not perfect at everything.
Mm-hmm.
You're not perfect at everything, but we balance each other in a way. If your fear is he's not going to make financial decisions, good financial decisions, microphone fired on you, didn't he? He's not going to make good financial decisions, then you take over those financial. You guys have the conversation to say, hey, I don't think that's good financials, or however you guys talk to each other, but moving in a direction of, okay, allow me to be over this, or let's work on a budget together. Let's do this together. Let's figure out a way, because the thing about money is just a tool.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. If we look at money as being a tool, our whole aspect of life would change.
That's very true. And when you look at finances as a married couple, everybody still needs to have, I don't want to say what they feel as some type of control,
mm-hmm.
but they need to have the access that they feel that they need to have. But that's as simple as, okay, what are our shared bills?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, these are the bills that we're sharing together. How much are we collectively going to put in on these shared bills? If these are the collective shared bills, it may be that, hey, I'm putting in more of this, but you're putting in part of your paycheck into my savings account.
Yeah.
Or you're letting me put less in on this so that I can put more into my savings account.
Yeah.
Or even into our savings account. There's different ways to handle money, and a lot of it can literally be as simple as a conversation.
Oh, yeah. Like that's the root of it. You know, when it comes to, like, I think a lot of marriages end in divorce because of finances, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think you have to look at it in a sense of why.
Mm-hmm.
Why does finances cause a person not to want to be married to a person anymore? Because the thing, like you said, it is a simple conversation to have.
It can be.
It can be a simple conversation to have. But it's like, if you understand your partner, you understand who you married and what you married this person for. In this case, they were still getting to know each other, so they can't make a real conclusion on how they deal with finances.
Mm-hmm.
But you always come up with a solution. You come up with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Finances are the simplest thing. Hey, we have bills that we got to pay, in-house bills. Okay, let's just make sure we pay those. Let's get those paid first. If you want to just balance everything, let's just take it down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You get this bill, you get this. When we moved in, I said, man, you take care of everything, like all the utility bills. Let me make sure we got a roof over our head.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one thing I wanted to make sure of, because personally, I didn't want to put me having a roof over my head in somebody else's hand.
Mm-hmm.
and you had enough trust in me to make sure that doesn't happen, that you're out. So it's a sense of having that conversation instead of, nope, I don't feel safe. Why don't you feel safe? Tell this person that you don't feel safe. And those are the conversations that they're wanting you to have throughout this 8 weeks. Why don't you feel safe with a person that you're living with currently?
Right.
So
doesn't make sense.
No, like her reasoning doesn't make sense at all.
So after Mirla and Gil, everyone got back together. Kevin asked who misses filming. The only person that raised his hand was Johnny. That makes sense. Johnny wants to be the center of attention, but have no accountability. Michaela and Zach and their tension of being in the room together was like you could cut it with an ice sculpture knife. Like, it was tough.
Yeah.
They do talk about their reactions. Gil talks about all the people that are in his DMs. Men that are like, bruh, it's okay.
Yeah.
I've been there before. It's gonna be okay. I wonder if any of Mirla's former male suitors have reached out to Gil and been like, bruh, don't sweat it.
Yeah, I wonder that as well.
Because usually, as we've seen with a lot of reality TV shows, especially that are focused on dating, the exes come out the woodworks, and for some reason they go straight to Kojo's channel.
Yeah.
They be like, I want to talk to him.
Shout out to Kojo. Little Black Book, 91.
Let's see. Gil said the craziest being the girl who tells him, let her know she's only one flight away. Jose talks about people thinking that he's gay. It's been insinuated a lot, even in our comment section, about Jose being gay. I don't know what it is with Jose. I wouldn't necessarily just jump and be like, Jose's gay, because why would I do that? However, it is what it is.
Yeah.
They get into Hurricane K and they show her acting a fool at the retreat. She says she reacted because it made her think of her dad getting hit after storming out in an argument. So apparently Michaela's parents argued like this.
Oh, yeah?
That's all I can think of.
Yeah.
Zach shuts down after Michaela tells him to shut up because he doesn't mean it. Because he was trying to apologize to her about something.
I don't know. Like, he spent a lot of time trying to apologize, so...
I just don't know what to say about those two. We had such high hopes for them.
We did in the beginning.
As far as like the wedding day, they were like attracted to each other, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And then we're here.
Yeah.
Kevin ended everything by asking who was better suited for each other. Gil was like, I'm not doing this, and got up and left. Michaela ran to follow him.
Yeah.
I think Michaela is genuinely trying to be a friend.
Yeah.
In this moment.
Because it does look like it's hard to be a part of the circle when you had the most popular one. Everybody wants to hang around Mirla. Everybody wants to, be her friend. Which
I didn't get that at first.
I didn't either. But,
I couldn't tell who was like, I think Gil was the guy that everybody wanted to hang out with and be around. Like, he was they put him in the position that they put Amani in on New Orleans. Like, you go out and you help people fix things.
Yeah.
Like, you ask the questions because you're empowered to do so.
Yeah. It was funny because I looked at Gil, looked like he wanted to hurt Johnny.
The way that Johnny responded after Gil walked off, if Gil had came back in and punched him in the face, I don't think anybody would have said anything.
I don't think they would have stopped it just because.
No. I mean, like, the viewers.
Yeah, no. Like, I would have been like, he asked for that.
And I was happy that Rachel was like, Johnny.
Chill out.
Like, shut up.
Yeah.
Nobody's asking for this.
Yeah.
And I think that we need more of that, Rachel.
Yeah.
In this group dynamic.
Like, I think it's fine that they're cool with Mirla, but as a friend, somebody needs to say, hey, Mirla, that was messed up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as like, and I don't like, I don't know, man. I did like Johnny and her are just villains to me, man. And Rachel is cool because she's like not.
Rachel doesn't have to be a villain because her husband is the villain.
Yeah, I guess
she gets to come off scot-free no matter what she does because, like, I called my ex-boyfriend and stayed at his house. But you know why? Because you locked me out.
Right.
Like, she doesn't have to be a villain. Like, he villainized himself in that way. She can pretty much do whatever she wants to do and not come off as a villain.
Right. So, there you have it.
Anywho, happy this is all over. Apparently the new season comes back
in January
5th.
Is it?
I think that's like the casting special.
Oh, okay. I don't watch
Maybe.
those.
I don't know. I don't really know. I didn't look to see what was January 5th. I just saw the date of January 5th.
Yeah.
So I guess we will leave you guys for the rest of December and we're doing Vlogmas, so we're not gonna necessarily leave you guys. I'm talking about Married at First Sight. Yeah. We are doing Vlogmas. We've got Vlogmas days 1 and 2 up while this video is live, and 3 will be up later on today. Yeah. And we're gonna try this whole getting out and vlogging the entire month of December. Yeah, at least until we get tired. Pray for us. I'm already yet tired. Yeah. You got anything else? Nah, that's it. Well, I guess if you guys haven't already, please take a minute to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and comment down below. What did you guys think of this season of Married at First Sight? We have one couple that is technically agreeing to stay married. Yeah. But they're not even in the happily ever after portion of it all. But how many yeses did we get individually? Oh, I don't remember. 5 or 6? I don't remember. Yeah. So I still think the odds are with the experts as far as like yeses, because that was the goal. But hey. No, I really would like for the experts to just admit that this is production cast. Like, even if y'all got a lie and say it's production cast, like, it makes us have more credibility, y'all. This was just awful. I think this season was a lot better than last season. I don't even remember who stayed together last season. I don't either. I don't remember. Last season was Atlanta. Yeah. Virginia and Eric have already divorced. Claire and Ryan have already divorced. That was it, I think. Oh, no. Vinny. Mm-hmm. Champagne, Vinny, and Brianna. Yeah. They're the one couple still standing. So, I don't know. I still think this season was a lot better than last season. So. All right, y'all. Bye. Peace.